Welcome to the 5K Yarns podcast with BILLO. This is a podcast where the finish line is just the beginning of the story. Every Saturday morning, all around the world, people like you and me gather to walk, jog or run, or just cheer from the sidelines. The guests I have conversations with attend these parkruns. It's formed an important part of their weekly routine. Some attend with their dogs, with prams, with their mates, and even with their families. Some just like to do it by themselves. Some chase PBs, some chase community, and some just chase the post-run coffee. After all, that's what it's all about, right? This podcast will share their stories with you. Each episode I sit down with everyday parkrun heroes to hear what this little 5K means to them. Because behind every barcode, there's a yarn worth telling. Lace up, sit down, tune in, and let's go for a run together. Now let's get on with the podcast. Welcome to another episode of 5K Yarns podcast with BILLO, where every barcode has a story. Today we're thrilled to bring you a special mother-daughter edition featuring Ros LOWE and Cherie MARTIN, two remarkable women from opposite ends of Australia. Ros is based in South Australia and Cherie up in Queensland. They both share a deep passion for parkrun that spans generations. Between them, they've chalked up an incredible 751 parkruns, 422 volunteer credits, and countless stories from across the globe. Ros, a parkrun veteran with over 550 events and an astonishing 339 volunteer credits, has been running since 2012. Now, I would suggest that's parkrun running since 2012. You've probably been running a lot longer than that. Her daughter Cherie is also no slouch herself, has completed 200 parkruns across 112 locations, and has volunteered 83 times, showing that parkrun runs deep in the family. From smashing PBs to clocking up tourism streaks, from Wilson Index to finishing line memories. This dynamic duo proves that parkrun isn't just a weekly 5K, it's a way of life. Lace up, tune in, and join us for a heartfelt and inspiring chat with Ros and Cherie on this intergenerational adventure of community, commitment, and connection. Welcome to the podcast, both you wonderful ladies. How are you today?
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
That's
Yep.
good to hear. So what I think we'll do is just one at a time. We'll get you to just, we can bounce off each other as far as conversation is concerned. But obviously you're the veteran out of all three of us here. And I know it sounds horrible, Ros, but you've been doing
It's
parkrun a lot
okay.
longer than both of us. How did you discover parkrun and what made you to get into it and check it out for the first time?
Well, I was late to start running, so I was in my late 50s when I started running. And you'd look around for events to do. And one day I was staying at Cherie's house in Brisbane, and I saw a flyer in a shop window advertising a new event that was going to start at South Bank called Parkrun. And I thought, that's not fair that that's starting in Brisbane and not in Queensland and not in South Australia. And then a guy that I used to run with occasionally actually brought parkrun to Adelaide just a couple of months later. And because I was friends with him, his whole running group went to the first parkrun in Adelaide at Torrance. So that's how I came about it.
Yeah, that's an amazing event. I've done Torrens a couple of times and it's still kicking on. So, and since then, obviously, South Australian event numbers have grown and it's good. It's one of those, I guess, phenomenons that three of us are all passionate about. What about you, Cherie? How did you discover and get into it? Was it through mum?
Of course, it was through Mum. Mum had been in our community for, I don't know, probably 7 years. Every time I visited in Adelaide or if she came up to Brisbane, it was like, do you want to come to Parkrun? I'm like, no. And then one morning in August, well, actually the evening in August 2019, I said to Mum, you know what, I might come and join you at Parkrun. And she was like, all shocked and quite very, very happy. And it just so happened that she was there visiting to do her Z at Zillmere for her alphabet challenge. And I'd just like to say that I've already finished the alphabet challenge and Mum still has not. So, yeah.
Don't worry, Ros, you're not alone in that space. I haven't finished my alphabet either, so it's one of those things.
She's done
But
4 challenges.
my version is a little bit different. The night before, the only reason we were doing Zillmere is because that's where Cherie lives.
Yeah.
And her brother and I were going to go and do parkrun, and Cherie says, maybe I'll come too. And before she could even blink, we'd registered her. And so and then when we got there, she met people that she'd worked with from Canberra. So she understood about touristing from the very beginning. And that was a fun event because there was a wayward magpie that kept hitting my son's bald head. And Cherie was awesome, walking so fast and greeting everyone that she knew. Yeah.
But you're a natural, Cherie. That's really a good thing.
Oh, no, look, I had a massive change in life circumstances. So, I was just starting to get fit and wanted to find something that was a bit more motivating, and parkrun was there.
And that's good. And that's gone on because you continue a weekly, I guess, catch up with in the trail running group up there in Queensland as well, don't you?
Yeah, Brisbane Trail Runners Group. So used to go to the one at Tour Forest up here, and then I've just tried to start up a little group at the local Daisy Hill Forest. Hasn't been as easy as Tui Forest, I guess, but absolutely love trail running. Love it.
Yeah, I must admit, when I lived in South Australia, the trail running series over there was something very different, and I haven't actually quite got into the trail running over here in northeast Victoria yet, but who knows what's around the corner. But in saying that, I did do a 10K event today, which was a part of a local run called Pub to Pelican, which is a marathon. So it's second year that they've actually had it going. So
No,
beautiful high country rail trail up near Tolanga. I'm not sure whether you're familiar with the area. But
No.
yeah, beautiful part of the country.
no.
So it sounds like you're both, and I know you're both like touristing. I noticed that I had a feed come up on my Facebook page today, Ros, that you went and did the Bushy pilgrimage back in 2019. Is that right?
Well, it came up in my Facebook memories 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so wasn't that good? Because in Adelaide today, there were three big running events, all sort of competing with each other for runners. And what comes up in my feed is Bushy. So that was really good. But Cherie's done it too.
Oh, have you, Shirley? I didn't know that.
2 years ago, yeah,
Yep.
we travelled there for my 50th birthday, and I actually proposed to my partner just prior to parkrun. So grabbed one of the locals there, got them to hold my phone and take photos while I got down on bended knee, and she was in tears and I was nervous, and yeah, fortunately he said yes. So Bushy has a pretty fond memory of mine.
That's awesome. Yeah, I haven't done it yet. It's definitely on my calendar though in the future. So it'd be something about going back to the location where it originally all started. So that's
Yeah,
fantastic. Now let's just
especially.
move on a little bit with parkrun. Now there's things about parkrun that we like and we don't like and so forth. Let's be honest. And I'll let each one of you give your own thoughts around this. If there's one thing that you could add, change, or remove from your parkrun journey, and it's something that you were able to take to the board in the UK, what would that be?
Do you want me to go, Mum?
Yeah.
As much as I love dogs, dogs are fantastic and they have their place at parkrun. What I would love to see is be able to register dogs, and part of that registration includes, the owner acknowledging that they will, have the dog on a short lead, not on a waist lead, and will take responsibility for that dog. I have seen quite a few situations that could have turned into some serious injuries. So I think it would be nice just to be able to, register your dog, take responsibility for your dog, and be responsible for a more safer parkrun. That's probably the main thing for me. Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be a hard thing to actually get a pet barcode generated that, they're coming along on the journey with you as well. And it would be good to be able to see, the different locations they're able to go to. And obviously not all of them you can take them to because is it right, same in in Queensland, you're not allowed to take dogs to the national parks? I know it's the case in Victoria. Is that the same in South Australia, Ros?
In some parks, in others you can take them, but some you can't. Yes.
Okay. What about you,
Clearly.
Ros? What about you? What would you change, add, or remove?
Oh, okay. It's really interesting because I started parkrun in 2012 and I started as a runner. So there have been changes that I haven't particularly liked at the time, but now I've seen that they're worthwhile. One change that really blew my mind, which I'm still having trouble with, is one of the Western Victorian parkruns where people were competing in their gophers. What do you call them? Gophers in their mobility vehicles, and 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 getting not assisted times. And I've seen the link to wheels at parkrun, and it seems like it's legitimate that if that's your normal mode of transport or of getting around, then you can compete or take part in parkrun in it. But I was just stunned, and I thought, if I was a 70-year-old man and wanting to run fast at a particular park run and know that the course record was held by someone in a mobility vehicle, I probably would be a bit peeved. But I've only seen it at one park run. And so it's really interesting that things that I have held on to, in actual fact, I've accepted, and I love the fact now that walking is encouraged and it's much more inclusive. What I hadn't thought of something that I could address with Parkrun UK, but one thing that does vaguely make me feel sad is the dropout rate. And I don't know whether it's considered big or whatever, but one day, just for the fun of it, I looked up the numbers, the barcode numbers either side of mine, for about 20 either side, and very few of them were still involved in parkrun. And I thought, people say that parkrun's about the people, but sometimes we might not be very encouraging to others that there's such a dropout rate.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I think it is a global challenge because I know there's been a bit of a topical discussion. I'm not sure whether you listen to other podcasts, but there's one that's based in the UK with me now, it's called.
Oh, yes.
And they were recently saying that, and even if you go to look at your results through the 5K app, less than 15% of all registrations. So what have we just hit over 11 million registrations with Parkrun globally? Less than 15% of them have registered one or more parkruns. So that's a massive number that's, not active. So look, I don't know what the solution is to that. And I think it's a case that, simple things like, choosing your time and what parkrun location you go to. I think we've also got to remember too, the origins of it goes back to a time trial. And unfortunately, we're always going to have the scenario where at one end of the scale, they're trying to embrace and welcome people to walk. But at the other end of the scale, you're going to have the true park racers who want to better their times. And if you can come up with a happy medium, then fantastic. So I don't think anyone's ever going to have the right answer. I think, as you say, the dropout rate is something that I believe is of a concern, and I think it's something that needs to be addressed at a global level. And I think with the recent changes to leadership from a global level, I'm hoping that we start to see improvement with those numbers. And in Australia, it's going to be hard this time of the year with winter because no one will want to get out when it's freezing cold or, really wet and horrible. Unless you're passionate and you're addicted like the three of us, I think it's going to be a completely scenario.
No, what's that?
Well, after all, it's not a cult, and we know that, don't we?
Or it's a health club.
So, what would you say would be one of your proudest moments that you're happy to share in your parkrun journey?
Well, I'm glad that I helped start Mount Barker Parkrun. And when I run at Mount Barker, which isn't so often anymore, but it still gives me a real buzz when you see that long line of people just heading off in the distance along the trail. I think that's really great. So probably that would be one of the highlights. It was a lot of hard work, and it was before there was really support. So we did it fairly tough. But I'm really pleased that about that.
So how long has Mount
Yeah.
Barker been going for now?
Well, Mount Barker was number 3 in the state. So there was Torrens and then Mount Gambier and then Mount Barker. So 2014. So it's just 11 years.
11 years,
March
yeah.
2014.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you actually, I guess, stepped aside from your event director role. Wasn't really that long ago, was it?
It was same time as 2020
Yeah,
with
COVID.
lockdown.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a nice spot to actually make the break.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I know that, like, when I come to think about standout events in South Australia, I'd have to say Mount Barker's definitely up there in terms of from a PR perspective, how well they actually engage through social media posts and so forth. And the other one is obviously Lock Hill as well. So
Yeah.
I
No, the event directors at Mount Barker are excellent, and they are ambassadors for Parkrun as well. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. And what about
Yeah.
yourself, Cherie? Standout moment for you?
Oh, look. I still remember the very first time I volunteered at Parkrun. It was at Sandgate Parkrun in the photographer role, and I've never felt such a strong sense of, I don't know, satisfaction, because everyone that was running past me was saying thank you. Getting 400 in an hour is pretty amazing feeling, and just having that sort of I'm able to contribute and help someone else, achieve their own personal goals. But also with me, I never thought I'd be able to run. I was struggling to walk as it is with my genetic nail patella syndrome. But then I think through parkrun, I decided walking just wasn't getting fast enough, so I might as well start trotting. So yeah, it was through parkrun that I actually started running, and have then gone on to do half marathons and an ultra, 50k ultra as well. So and I all bring it back to parkrun.
Awesome, that's good. And I was the same. Like when I started park running at Murray Bridge back in 2017, I definitely wasn't a runner. And I know that from my perspective too, similar to yours, is it was about having a little bit of a bucket list, tick, tick, tick. So that's awesome, Cherie. And so photography is something you're passionate about. Do you still enjoy doing that role? Or?
I enjoy it. I enjoy
Yeah.
it. I will practice a lot, but yeah, it is something I enjoy, capturing those memories for other people.
Yeah. And is it true that I've seen you actually RDing as well at events? Is that right?
Yeah. So I started my RD journey over at Wynnum Parkrun under Alan Burrell there, who was fantastic with teaching me ropes, and then decided to offer and help out at a local, it's only 10 minutes down the road, Meadowbrook, along with 8 other amazing people that are in the run director role. So we rotate that around 2 weeks at a time, and they're an amazing group.
Yeah, no, that's good. And what about yourself, Ros? Are you still volunteering in any capacity at all, or you've actually done your numbers as far as that's concerned? Do you think?
No, I try and volunteer as often as possible, and that's partly because I find it hard to have make a connection with people. But if I'm in a volunteer role, then it gives an automatic connection
Mm.
at parkrun. And so, like yesterday, I did first timers at Charleston, and there was someone who had never done a parkrun before. And I think, okay, hopefully she will come back.
Yeah.
And so I was able to connect. And also, I put on a different persona when I'm volunteering. And so,
I
and
find it hard to
so,
believe.
and but if I just turn up, then it's really hard to know. And then it doesn't seem worthwhile if I haven't connected with anyone. And
Mm.
that's also why I like the smaller parkruns, because it's much easier to connect with half a dozen people than it
Yeah.
is with the big ones.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with you there. I just find, some of the large events quite a struggle. So yeah, I enjoy the ones where you can actually catch up with them afterwards and have that brunch and sit around and have a bit of a chat and just talk all things parkrun.
Mm.
So totally get that. Now, is there anything about parkrun that annoys you?
For me,
Is
the
that
number of emails, I probably 3 or 4 emails a week about parkrun, and I'm fine with one or four. That's probably the I really annoy nothing else.
Okay, what about yourself, Ros?
I didn't pick up Cherie's. It was hopping in and out in the
Yeah,
sound.
I was the same, but all right, I sort of got the gist of it.
Okay. Uh, no, I think from my perspective and in my neck of the woods in the Adelaide Hills, it all seems to be running really well. And I have a circuit that I enjoy going around to. I also volunteer a fair bit at Junior Parkrun, and so that's given a different perspective too.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit of a drive because there's only one in South Australia, and
Yeah,
it's 30 something k's way. But
yeah.
I thought that I was a parkrun fanatic until I met the volunteers at Junior Parkrun, and I don't have the right number plate. I don't have the right colour number plate.
Um,
Half of their challenges I've never even heard of. So going there is not just the volunteering with the young people, it's meeting the other volunteers and having a whole new world opened up. So no, at the moment there is nothing, and I feel like it's something that I can do in one capacity or another into old age, and I
mm.
turned 78 this year, and so I think I probably have another 15 years or so. What do you reckon, Cherie? I could do
God,
part run fun.
So you'll be able to tick over 1,000, no problem. So I'm looking forward to
uh,
seeing that yellow shirt on you.
uh, I'm thinking 500 volunteers is more achievable than 1,000 park runs.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
and for an older person, the young
I'll
people
be
will do
pushing
that
you.
easily. Yeah, yeah.
No, that's very good. I mean, for me, my pet peeve is when you're RD, you've got people in the crowd talking, and
Okay.
that would be one thing that annoys me. And I think if there's a message that I'd like to get out to anyone that's listening to this podcast, if you happen to be one of those people that stand back and you think you've heard the brief before, think of it this way. There's over 2,000 events around the world, and every single brief is going to be different because no two parkrun event locations are the same. So you just never know what the run director might be bringing to the group, and safety is obviously the paramount thing. So moving on, at a deeper
Yeah.
level, what would you say parkrun means to both of you?
Well, for me, it's something I can do with Roger, my husband, because he's had a time when he's not been able to take part, not been able to walk. He's always walked it, and now he's able to walk again. And even when he couldn't, he could still volunteer. And he's happy to drive me for 6 hours to get to a new park run. And he's happy to chat to whoever will listen. So that's been really good. Great connection with Cherie. Pity about the other two, who have both, my other two offspring, who do parkrun to shut me up every now and again. But it's not a passion for them. Yeah.
You know, we've all got children like that. My boys are the same, Ros. When I come up to Adelaide, that's probably the only time that one of the three of them will say, "Yeah, I'm going to come along to parkrun." So I get that.
Yep. And also when I visit Brisbane, Cherie can take me to another park run that I haven't done before. And Ian, Cherie partner, is great. Loves park run as well. So that's good. That's good.
That
Such a good connection. Yeah.
that helps when your partner actually and or other half actually enjoys as much as you do.
Yeah.
You know, my partner Lila, I drag her along to events, and sometimes it's against her will, but you know, she does come along, and but you know, look, she's busy with her own things as well, so I totally get that. Yeah. So, what about yourself, Cherie? What does it mean to you at a deeper level?
Oh, look, I mean, when I have a conversation about parkrun, you know, when I'm talking to my work or when my friends that don't run, then I start. I can't stop. But yeah, like I said, it's just that sense of belonging, and community, and that feeling, oh, I'm okay. People have, it's incredibly powerful, and just the number that I met through parkrun,
Mm.
touristing at different parkrun and riding, it's an amazing, really good.
Yeah, no, that's good. And you know, the common themes through every single one of these podcasts I've put together so far with guests is around that community aspect and what it means to be a part of that community. So, look, I totally get that because I'm the same. You know, I think the difference between, and this is again just my personal opinion, the difference between what makes a good park run and one that's not so good is the people involved in it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
So,
we're the people. Yeah.
well, that's right, exactly right. I mean, you know, you think about your circle of friends that you've actually created through parkrun, and they just wouldn't be, if, you know, in that circle if it wasn't for parkrun. So definitely
Yeah.
an important aspect, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about NENDYs. All right, where's your NENDY currently sit, Ros?
uh, ah, it's
Because
that.
you're SA Statesman now, aren't you?
Yeah, but it's that one, that newest one in central Victoria. What is it?
Is it Pyramid Hill?
Yes, that's my NENDY.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's a fair distance from you.
it's 6 hour drive. Yep.
Right, and is that on your planner?
No, no, because at the moment we have commitments Saturday afternoon for the winter season,
Hmm.
and so we won't be able to tourist again until September. Mm.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What about
Yeah.
yourself, Cherie?
well, a new parkrun just started here a couple of weeks ago, Hidden Bay Parkrun at
Yep.
Spiders Retreat. So that is probably only about, I don't know, 45 minutes away. So that's my ND now. And then we've actually finished that one at the end of June. Decided to way up there. But then once we've done that one, it'll be Highfields at Toowoomba. So got 7 more to
Okay.
do, southeast Queensland border. So it'll be nice to get those ticked off this year.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't feel your pain about being only 45 minutes away, and as I think Ross is the same, I think my NENDY is currently, well, it's Ilden actually, Ilden Pondage, which is 2 hours away, so it's not too bad. But
Yeah.
the next one closest to that is a 5 hour drive away. So I feel your pain, Ros.
Yeah. Um, are you going to tell us? Oh, yeah. So you've told us what your NENDY is.
Yeah. So Ilden Pondage, so
Yeah.
Ilden. So it's only
Yeah.
2 hours from as you head towards Melbourne, from where I live.
Okay.
So I live obviously on right on the border of Victoria and New South Wales. So if you were to drive up the Hume Highway between Melbourne and Sydney, you would go through Wodonga, which is where I live. So
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
yes, I feel the pain as far as travelling is concerned. As we discussed earlier on before we started recording, I went over to Hamilton and did a Hamilton park run yesterday, Cherie, which was a
Oh,
6 hour drive each way.
wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, I feel the pain. Now let's talk about locations. Your dream location that you haven't done yet. What would it be?
Well, I'm a bit nostalgic, so I would love to go to Kangaroo Island and do the park run there. As a child, we used to go there all the time. And there is another one there's Whyalla as well, which is where I grew up. Spent my teen years in Whyalla, so those two are ones that are definitely on my bucket list. But I have every different location I want to do.
I was going to say you have a huge list because it doesn't matter how many you think you've completed. There's always more. Seems more. Seems like the list just continues to grow.
That's right.
What about yourself, Ros?
Well, I'd like to do another one overseas.
Mm.
Yeah, so maybe the easiest would be to go to Singapore and do another one there.
Mm.
We've only done Bushy. But we've done such beautiful park runs. Like Cherie and I together, we went and did in Sydney with our errant daughter. We did Purima
Oh, yeah.
park run. And I thought, however did they get this through the safety measures, running along the edge of the wharf, and they had to put cones around the fishermen so we didn't get tangled with their gear. And you
Wow.
run one way and you see the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and you run the other way and you see the Anzac Bridge. And I think you can't get any better than a location than that, can you?
Yeah.
Really.
Cool.
No, I mean, there's some spectacular ones around Australia that, I mean, I still even think, the likes of Victor Harbour. I think Victor Harbour's a really nice, scenic park run. But a lot of coastal ones, yeah, I totally get it. And I love doing Cooper Pedy. I did Cooper Pedy last year, and that was an experience. But for me, the one I've got on my list is the most remote park run in the world. Do you know where it is?
No?
Falkland Islands, Cape
Oh,
Pembroke Lighthouse.
Oh, we'll come too. We can
Okay,
come too.
yeah, we'll
charter
go. Well, yeah, start a plane.
that sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Now, is there any location that because we all travel, is there any location that you think that doesn't have a parkrun at the moment that could do with one?
Oh, look, in Falkland Islands, I Norfolk when I was in Norfolk Island a few years back. I thought, oh, this would be beautiful. The island is amazing. I don't know if there'll be a spot on that island that you can actually find 5K without any hazards, but
Hmm.
especially girls roaming everywhere. But Norfolk Island would just be amazing and good for the community as well.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think it'd be good to see some sort of move into the Pacific. I think there has been a discussion or expressions of interest raised around trying to get one established in Fiji. So I'm looking forward to see where that goes.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Ros?
Oh, I hadn't thought of it as a destination thing. I would like a park run closer to home. At the moment, it's 14 k's to Cleveland, and
Okay.
Cleveland is now almost too tough for me.
Yeah.
15 k's to Mount Barker. I would really like a park run that was within 10 k's of home. That would be so good, wouldn't it? and,
So
and
where do you
I know
reside? What's the town that you reside in
Mm.
at
or suburb? Oh, okay.
Bridgewater,
Yeah.
and there's nothing flat. Um, and Charleston is the nearest a flat one in the direction that I would go. But wouldn't it be good if, yeah.
No, I
and
totally agree.
and it doesn't have to be flat as such, but I've thought and thought, of course, and I can't think of where I would put one.
Well,
Because I would,
you're getting into some pretty hilly country still around that area, though.
yeah, yeah. And Cleveland is amazing, Anstey Hill
Mm.
is amazing. Um, and it would have to be probably one like that, unless it was a multi-loop in a dog park or something like that.
And we don't like doing multi loops or multi legs because it does your head in. I mean, going out and back or doing one full loop is, I think most people are happy with. But as soon as you get to one where you've got to do, 3 or 4 loops of a park, it's
Highfield, Highfield's parkrun in the UK, in England, that's 5 laps around the park. And you actually
wow.
have to concentrate very hard to work out how many laps you've done. Otherwise, you don't do your 5K or you do more than 5K. So,
Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, there's a number in that I'm aware of in Victoria. So Castlemaine, for example, that's a 3 lapper of the Botanic Gardens. The one at Griffith, Ted Scobie Oval in New South Wales, that's a 4 lapper. So yeah, totally get it. Totally get it.
yeah.
Ararat is
That's a 3, isn't it?
yeah, with little curls on each
Yeah,
corner.
that'll be an interesting one though. It's like a little
Yeah.
clover. Like
I think there's a total of 11 or 12 turns at Ararat
and
from memory.
yeah,
Yes, yeah. 11 turns, but you can see people all over the course. So
Mm.
for a small park run, that
yeah,
works, I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like the vibe of Ararat. We did that the beginning of this year, so very stinking hot day, very humid, so that was a bit uncomfortable, but yeah, really nice community there. So that's again links back to the community side of things. Now, away from parkrun, what other passions do you ladies do you have? I mean, running's obviously one of them.
Hey. I like to read and to sew
Mm,
and to garden. So, yeah. And all of those you can fit in your spare time. So that's
yeah,
good.
and go on
Yeah.
holidays to locations where there's parkruns because you wouldn't go on a
Yes.
holiday
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah.
And yourself,
Uh,
Cherie?
yeah. I don't think I have any apart from camping and then making
Yeah,
sure that I go out from location. So location in an drive. So yeah.
no,
And I
that's
love it well. So yeah.
so. Going on to the last question with you, ladies, and I'm sure this would be a natural fit for both of you because I know how passionate you both are. How have you gone about talking to a total stranger in the past in regards to parkrun and to try and encourage them and get them to come along?
I've discovered it doesn't really work unless they have the passion in the first place. You're
Mm.
wasting your breath. like, um, I wasted so much energy on Cherie for several years.
But it was
What
worth it in the end.
what good did it do until she decided, ah,
I was
yeah,
ready.
I was
yeah.
going to say you weren't ready, obviously, Cherie.
No, well, I was far from ready. I was a drinker, I was a smoker. I definitely wasn't ready for a park run, but it was when I quit all those bad habits and turned it into a healthy one. Yeah.
And it opens up, I guess, that from a psychological perspective, the importance of replacing a bad habit with a good habit, because then it just helps you to improve, doesn't it, from a
Yeah.
psychological perspective and a health perspective, really, end of the day.
It was more mental
So,
health to it. Yeah.
yeah, oh, look, I mean, mental health is such a big issue, and I think since COVID and other aspects in life, such things as cost of living and pressures in that space, it's a huge pressure on people. And if it's the one day of the week that you can, move to utilise parkrun as a part of being able to deal with that, then that's fantastic. So,
Mm.
so where are you heading next parkrun, Dave? Have you thought that far ahead?
Yeah. I'm going to Pakandoola And yeah, and that's because of the Wilson Index number, and because really like Parkendora, because it's smaller than Mount Barker. It's
Yeah.
sealed. It's 2 laps. You can talk to everyone. You can see the runners on the other side of the wetlands. And yeah, so that's where I'm going. And Roger is on a roll because he volunteered as tail walker yesterday at Charleston and loved it. So, and guess what? There was a blank spot for tail walker at Parkendora, so his name's in the roster there. So we're
That's good.
both happy. Yeah. Where are you going, Cherie?
I think Kedron next week is the Caravan Camping Show that's on. So Kedron's are like quite close to the ground, so I'll probably go there. Plus, I've been there since pre-COVID. Been there twice. Once volunteering. This time will be my first time running.
Great.
And I will be run directing at my home park run of Yakandanda Rail Trail. So looking
Nice.
forward to that because I haven't. I volunteer each week as a volunteer coordinator for Yakandanda, but I haven't obviously been there in person to be able to do it because I'm just too busy doing this thing called parkrun tourism. Have you heard of
Of a lot of time. Good time.
Well, ladies, it's unless you want to bring something else to the table, it's been absolutely fantastic catching up with you both. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your passion for parkrun. And for any listeners out there, these are 2 living examples of wonderful people as a part of the parkrun community in separate parts in Australia. Cherie being in Queensland and Ros being in South Australia. So thank you very much. Stay well and look forward to catching up with you again down the path sometime.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Matt.
Matthew.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Mum.
Bye.
Bye.
So there you go. That's a wrap on another edition with a guest. If you liked that episode and you're interested in looking at the back catalogue or being notified when more come out, please subscribe and like because that's your way of being able to get notifications. So until the next podcast, thanks for your time. The views, thoughts and opinions expressed on the 5K Yarns podcast with Billo belong solely to the host and my guests and do not reflect the views of any affiliated organisations mentioned, sponsors or partners. The content shared on this podcast is for entertainment and informational purposes only and should not be considered professional advice. Listeners' discretion is advised, especially as the topic may include some strong language and sensitive material.